Good evening, and welcome to the closing fixture of matchday 23 of the German Dritte Liga. We have a special treat ahead of us tonight at the MSV Arena. A North Rhine-Westphalia derby between hosts MSV Duisburg and SC Verl. It's not only the close proximity between the two clubs that's making for an enticing affair, it's the single point that separates them in the table after 22 matches played. SC Verl currently occupying third place, which symbolizes access to the playoff spot, and Duisburg hot on their heels with 40 points, but just outside any form of promotion spot. A victory for either side would propel them into the top three. For Verl, back to pole, a position they held briefly and lost after succumbing to a 2-0 defeat to Wien Wiesbaden at the turn of the new year. Here's the starting 11 for Dietmar Hirsch. He has to compensate with the absence of captain Alexander Hahn. It's Ben Stilk who stands in. If not, it's the usuals. Can Çoskun also makes his return. Rasim Bulic, alias Kazar, the winter signing. Up front, Patrick Susek, Lex Tiger Lobinga, the new signing as well from Cologne. Dennis Borkowski right behind, and Jan Simon Simola, back from injury. Played 45 minutes against Ulm on matchday 22, but he gets the start today. Notably on the bench is the return to Patrick Bukjans as well. For Verl, Tobias Trobel has opted for a 4-2-3-1, not making many changes except for Jari Otto, who comes into the starting 11 for their signing Marco Werner. If not, business as usual. Berkan Taz, the top goal scorer of the side, who's on 10 goals and 12 assists. He has an incredible record against MSV Duisburg in the 3 clubs he's played them with. For BVB Dortmund 2, Waldorf Mannheim, and SC Verl, he scored 5 goals, in his 6 appearances. So he really does enjoy playing against the Zebras. Players coming out to the music of the MSV Arena. And MSV Duisburg were clear league leaders for several weeks this term, achieving promotion and going on a record-breaking 6 wins to open the campaign, including a dramatic 3-2 come-from-behind win against their guests tonight on matchday 4. That defeat, however, was a turning point in SC Verl's season. They kicked it into another gear, climbed from 16th place all the way to first by matchday 21, leaving some opponents in absolute shell shock given their offensive prowess. It's MSV Duisburg, who on matchday 22 are coming off a disappointing 1-0 loss to relegation battlers Ulm. That was away from home, and they would like to offer a gift to their supporters with a marquee performance and victory, which is to be expected given that they are unbeaten at home this season. 7 wins recorded and 3 draws, 24 points for an incredible record. Main referee Jarno Wienefeld. He'll be assisted by Luca Jurgensen, Mario Hildebrand, and 4th official will be Julius Martenstein. Captain for the night, Rasim Bulic. As I mentioned, Alexander Hahn is missing. Niko Kiewski, the usual captain for SC Verl. Tobias Trobel and Dietmar Hirsch embrace each other before their sides go to battle under the floodlights for this Sunday night affair. So when you take into account the bragging rights as well as the table position, this matchup has all the ingredients for a real cracker. At one of the most well-attended venues all season long, the MSV Arena has reliably brought in 22,000 supporters. MSV Duisburg taking a minute to applaud the ultras behind the back of Maximilian Braune's goal. Ditkin also missing Mirko Khan, Christian Viet unable to even feature on the bench, while Jakob Bukjans does make his return to the bench. It would be surprising to see him come on, but push comes to shove. Well, SC Verl seem to be at full strength, and they have an offensive armada, whether it's Bestio, Berkan Taz, or Jonas Arweiler, who is a true joker on the bench. They have options to strike. And we're off. SC Verl wearing their red strips, attacking from right to left, away from home. And MSV Duisburg in their fortress looking to add another notch to their belt. They'll be wearing their white and blue stripes, attacking from left to right. Joshua Bitta, his first offensive contribution of the evening. We'll surely see him going forward. He's already on 8 goal contributions this season. There he is defending. Scooped forward on that right wing. Lobinga drifting towards that right side, the nearest part of your screen. Dietmar Hirsch, manager who had an incredible promotion campaign in 2024-2025, has allowed for his team to dream of a second consecutive promotion thanks to their incredible efficiency. It's not a side that oftentimes dazzle through their style of play, but they do get the goals when they need them. Philipp Schultz off his line quickly. SC Verl in possession. Taz dropping very deep to try and contribute and play short, but doesn't pay off. Lobinga gets a window to aim for. Back of the net! Lex Tiger Lobinga! What a signing he's proving to be for the Zebras. Clinical as you like. Oh, it's unforgivable to leave Lex Tiger Lobinga with even a sniff on goal. It's in his blood. Jan-Simon Simala pressing, harassing. Choskun as well involved, and Berkan Taz, a little too cute. Kaza, Simon Simala, and Lobinga. It's simple. He passes the ball into the net almost, and Patrick Schultz at full extent can't even get a glove to it. Oh, it's impressive how quickly he settled with the ball at his feet, and makes SC Verl pay for naive build-up in their own half. And that is a nightmare start for SC Verl. Not exactly, quite the opposite as to how you'd want to begin playing against MSV Duisburg, who are experts in taking leads. Wait, SC Verl finding Besio. He checked his run, he's not on side. He's running to the goal, but he's caught up by Bitta quite well. Gets onto his right foot. Waits for the overlap. There's spaces. Numbers in the box for SC Verl. The equalizer! It only took a few seconds. Walid Mahdi. Do you believe that? SC Verl canceled the opener in a heartbeat. Well, this fixture hasn't taken long to deliver on its promises. Alias Kazar, cheaply dispossessed, falls way too easily, and then Alessio Besio, what can you say about the Swiss forward? Delivers when he has to. He's called upon, surges, checks, skill, and then the pass, it's disguised. Everybody missed it. There's a slip as well by Weidner, but Walid Hamdi stays fully focused on the task at hand, cuts onto his left foot, and then drags the shot. Maximilian Brauner completely committed to the opposite direction. What scenes! Well, Verl stayed completely focused on their task at hand, and that's vintage SC Verl for you there. High-octane football, lots of goals scored, but they take risks. And Berkan Taz, for his mistake, is bailed out of jail. Here he is now, Berkan Taz. Space for Besio. Krajewski making the overlapping run, but he's late. Besio! Just hits the side netting outside the post. Oh my. Can anyone catch a breath in this match? End-to-end stuff, really. Joshua Bitta defending on ice skates. He's running back to goal and not really sure what he can do to prevent Besio, doing his best, but in the end, he was still able to get a shot off. The number 23, who recently got a hat-trick on January 17th against Verl of Mannheim, has nothing to prove in this division. Clearance from Joshua Beta, but had gone out of bounds. Captain Niko Kiewski taking a few seconds to catch a breath. And who'll blame him? Verl circulating from left to right. High press from Simala once again. They're looking to win possession deep in their opponent's half. They've already shown that they can be absolutely devastating. Hamdi, the goal scorer, gets his 5th of the season. Truly is such an offensive outlet for SC Verl and has the productivity to show for it. Here's Enns. Hamdi. Bought into the run. Instead, it's recovered by the home side. Well, before the equalizer came, I was about to share that MSV Duisburg are undefeated this season after taking the lead. Taking the lead 14 times, 11 wins and 3 draws once they had. So not only are they undefeated this season at home, but they're undefeated after taking the lead. It would be a true breakthrough and break of the trend if SC Verl were able to pick up 3 points here. Smooth defending from that defensive duo in Otto and Enns, ushering Lobinga off the ball. Kiewski. Between the legs, Alessio Besio, clever little nutmeg, but not sure his teammate was in full connection or synchronization. Chanchoskun, the left back, almost acting as a striker there. Very interesting press by the Duisburg block, but emphatic tackle by Joshua Beta, who arrives way too late, catches Joshua Eze. The ankle really makes no contact with the ball. Receives a fair warning from Jarno Wienefeld. Promising young referee, just taking charge in his 3rd Dritte Liga match this season. So far hasn't had much to do, the referee, except for point to the center circle twice. 2 very early goals to season this match. Midfield battle, and it's Joshua Eze. Got there a millisecond earlier. Makes all the difference, however, because now SC Verl are in command of possession. Short passing on that far side. Have to give credit to MSV Duisburg's block, which cuts the avenues to go forward. SC Verl have to reset, and Berkanta is drifting wide now. He really has so much liberty to play. Finds Weidner, searching to give it back to Taz. Alessio Besio, his father, Claudio, also played for Swiss clubs between 1989 and 2006, comes from a footballing family. Not the only one on the pitch tonight comes from a footballing family. There's also Ben Schleek, center back coming in for Alexander Hahn. His father played for Duisburg for 4 years. During their days in the Bundesliga and the Zweite Bundesliga between 2006 and 2010, so fairly more recent. Braun. His clearance finds the chest of Joshua Eze. Besio trying to combine and link up with Berkantaz, but it just doesn't happen. The press is starting to lead to some late challenges, so they have to be careful to not get carried away with their aggressive play. Rasim Bulic, who is already on 6 yellow cards this season, missed a game through suspension not too long ago. Former Jan Regensberg pillar, who really has taken on a responsibility and is appreciated by the supporters. He does dictate the tempo. Besio receives it very wide, but seems as if there's a little bit of a misunderstanding. Stopping defending was Borkowski. Kievski, he wins a corner kick. Rasim Bulic, captain against captain, going to duel. He stops the delivery. But from set pieces, Verl can perhaps find the header of a tall center back, whether it's Finn Otto, or Martin Enns. They are threats. Taz plays it short, however. A little bit of a surprise and trick play. Simala is well positioned. Hamdi, the goal scorer, controls it beautifully. Ensures that Verl stay in possession, but MSV Duisburg have now cleared the box. They've released a little bit of pressure. Shifted left, but then near side. Berkantaz trying to thread a pass through. And this time the foul comes from the visitors. It's been a while since MSV Duisburg had won a free kick, if they have it at all in this match so far. It's Jan Simon Simala who's brought down. Suffered a serious ankle injury on match day 13. Simala, it's good to see him back gracing the pitches of the Dritte Liga. Such an exciting talent. Just 21 years old, but full of poise. Hamdi gets to the ball before his opponent Can Çoskun, but now he's under a little bit of pressure. Tries to play a safe pass to Schultz, and less risks being taken building from the back. We're not seeing Berkantaz drop so deep and look to play short with his teammates. Here's Enns. He's picking up speed before sending an absolute peach of a pass. Offside flag had gone up, but Jari Otto had broken through. Jari Otto getting the start. The only change made by Tobias Trobel from their 4-0 victory against VfB Stuttgart 2. This is the 10th time MSV Duisburg and Verl encounter each other in the Dritte Liga. It's 3 wins apiece and 3 draws, so this will be one to either give an advantage to the ties, or one side will finally have a little bit of an ascendancy. The last time Verl did win this fixture was in the 2023-2024 season, and did 3-2 in favor for Verl, and Jari Otto actually featured. Schultz under some pressure. Just as I said, they had perhaps decided to not be so risky building out from the back. They take an ultimate risk, but this time it pays off. They've now broken through and have installed themselves in the middle of the pitch with the ball at their feet. The side wearing red. Gairet. He does dictate the tempo for this side. Taz, good give and go. Pass down the middle. It was squared to Besio, but Joshua Beta anticipated it perfectly, sliding in the nick of time. Gairet, Hamdi involved. And look, it's the dummy by Dennis Weidner. was fully expecting to receive the pass from Bercantaz, and that's how connected this SC Verl team are when they go forward. It's generous, it's selfless play. And they're relentless, always looking for more. Just when we thought perhaps that during the winter break they would cool down, they came back on match day 20 with a statement victory over Waldorf Mannheim, 5-2 win. Then we were back to goals last week against Stuttgart. Oh, it's played low. Bercantaz was searched for. Rasim Bulic leading by example. Nothing got away from him. Amazing how he kept up with the pace of Taz. This pass completely hidden. Oh, a little bit of a nutmeg. Ben Schilk was called to defend, but fortunately for the Zebras, Hamdi was in an offside position. Puts an end to that attack on the right. Verl concerting efforts to do damage on MSV Duisburg, while the Zebras, on the other hand, aren't about volume in terms of attack, not as much as their opponents, at the very least. But their high press has resulted in some output there. Chan Choskun thought the last touch came off a Verl defender, but Jarno Wienefeld saw otherwise. Before the match, Dietmar Hirsch spoke to the media on Friday. He was quoted as saying that SC Verl are the strongest team in the league, courageous with the ball. They have scored by far the most goals and are very versatile and flexible. With that equalizer, SC Verl are now on 55 goals this season. But nonetheless, Dietmar Hirsch said we are going into this match at home, full of confidence, and you could see by the way they're pressing Chan Choskun so far up the pitch, trying to make life very difficult for SC Verl. However, they have mild results with it. SC Verl break the press. Yariotto plays an interesting pass into the path of, I believe it's Weidner. Weidner's cross doesn't strike an arm. Play carries on. It wasn't Weidner, excuse me. It was Geiret. Ends. Martin ends, but it only takes a snap of the fingers and SC Verl can be in their own half, and the next thing you know, they have 4 or 5 players running into the box. Different runs, different timing, different intentions. Besio, right-footed effort. Simple, really, from Maximilian Brauner. But Alessio Besio, not shy to try. His duel with Joshua Bitta is absolutely fascinating. The right back against the left winger. They'll be at it all night long. So far, Joshua Bitta has looked a little bit shaky in his defensive duties, and he hasn't been able to offer up much offensively just yet either, which is one of his strongest qualities as a football player in this MSV Duisburg system. Taz, one touch outside of the foot pass to Kiewski. Kiewski has 3 players to look for. Weidner's not going to spread wide. Oh, what a waste. Went for glory. Dennis Weidner. Yariotto had positioned himself in an onside position at the top of the box. Oh, there was a little bit of a bobble right before he took the shot. It's a bit unlucky. because he really seemed to have full confidence in his ability to score from that distance and that angle. Very central. But isn't it staggering how Verl are piercing through the defense and the midfield of Duisburg? We're not seeing Elias Kaza having so much of an influence, as Maximilian Braune is complaining about issues with his left hand. He's going to receive some medical help, but it's not every day you see a goalkeeper remove their glove and ask for some assistance. Maybe it was on that initial save on Alessio Bessio's shot. The thumbs up is reassuring. And Maximilian Braune is not a goalkeeper you'd like to lose in this match with this importance in any match, in any regards. Former Schalke 04 academy player. Just 22 years of age, but acquiring such valuable experience guarding the sticks of the Zebras. He even extended his contract recently this season with the North Rhine-Westphalian club in a display of loyalty. Tobias Strobel, as cool as you like, just 35 years of age, leading a side. He's really transformed Verl. He's been at the helm for less than a year, and it's his first Dritte Liga job. Joshua Eze taking time to get back onto his feet. It was on the follow through that he received a knock. But he's all right. Borkowski even exchanged smiles. Finn Otto initially got away from Lobinga, but plays back to Enns. The surface seems to be a little bit difficult for certain players who slip around. Simala's on the first. Strong contact and collision there between Kievski and Bulic. Yet again, not the first time these two are involved in a duel this evening. Very instructive refereeing from Jarno Wienefeld instead of reaching for his pocket for the yellow card, exacting the warning words to Kievski. Off the ball, seems as if there was a challenge because Simala didn't stay on his feet. Braune gets it right back after that first clearance from the free kick and lunges it forward. Bulic gets a touch to it, but Patrick Susek would need rockets behind his shoes to catch that one. So after a very exciting opening quarter of an hour, the tempo has slowed down just a little bit in this North Rhine-Westphalian derby. Neither side taking the same amount of risks. Verl were punished for very risky play in their own half, deep in their own half. That's how Lex Tiger Lobinga got his 12th goal of the season. Free kick in favor of Verl. Elias Kaza, the culprit. And the supporters at the MSV Arena starting to let their frustrations be heard. We're hearing a little bit less volume overall and more whistles and what you'd expect from supporters who aren't truly enjoying the proceedings. It's a very tense affair, huge implications on the table. Can this free kick unlock a moment for Verl? Kiewski tried to take it in his stride. Very difficult to technique on that move. Doesn't pan out. And the Zebras defend properly. Yariotto was at the challenge after. Let's see this again. It's played very low. Kiewski, you can see what he was trying to do. Get on his left foot. Simala clears it in the first time. And oh, it's a hit to the Adam's apple. Not very deliberate. Didn't seem so, at least, from Yariotto, but painful to deal with indeed. Appears to be Alias Kaza. The number 8 midfielder who played an important role in Dynamo Dresden's promotion campaign last season. No, excuse me, it's Denis Borkowski who received the elbow to the Adam's apple. It's one of those contacts where it does cause a lot of fear. It's very painful on the initial contact, but as time carries on, it should be able to resume play. Making just his 6th appearance this season, Denis Borkowski. He was absent due to a long-term tendon injury, and it's been a good addition. Oh, strong challenge, Rasim Bulic. So we're seeing many more fouls. The whistle being blown very often from Jarno Wienefeld, and the words as well as the gestures are very clear. That is a final warning for Rasim Bulic before he goes into the booking. He went in full commitment into that challenge, and Dennis Weidner absolutely cleared out of his path. Play still not resuming. It's been a little bit of a cagey affair at this point. Verl, who are used to playing high-intensity, open football, they're coming against an opponent who are experts in closing down and almost forcing you to not play your usual style. It's one of the expert qualities of MSV Duisburg. It's not only that their strategy of play, it's what they do to unsettle their opponents. You can see another example of that. Jan Simon Simala pressing forward. It's through great sacrifices. The collective is usually what shines. There isn't exactly an individual in this Duisburg side that stands out beyond the lot. It's truly a collective. And that's what's brought them to such heights this season. Think about the back four in Choskun, Fleckstein, Hahn, and Joshua Beta. Such a well-built, well-oiled system. That's why they have the best defensive record in the Dritte Liga. For this match, had only conceded 23 goals. Duisburg. Here's Taz. He looks to his right. Yariotto on the edge of the box. He's going to go for goal. It's deflected. Calls for handball. Jarno Wienefeld made his decision instantly. Waved his hands to signal no penalty. But Verl, once again, testing the positioning of the defenders. Duisburg conserving their energy. You can see they're a little bit static, but they have to be careful because it only takes a flick of a switch for the visitors to have several players running at your goal. Just like now, Joshua Eze. Besio gets around Beta, lacking quality in the cross, but he had two players to aim for. But just as we've seen all season long, Verl are lightning quick once they transition to attacks, and they can vary in so many different ways. Eze. Half an hour of play, still 1-1. Both goals scored within the opening 3 minutes of this match, and since then it's been a bit of a deadlock. As Verl are picking and prodding more than their opponents, the hosts MSV Duisburg, but they still look dangerous whenever they're able to recover the ball high up on the pitch. But as of now, Verl are finding spaces. It's a great cross! Eze, could he have done better there? He had so much of the goal to aim for. Oh, what a pass from Gairetz. That has to be applauded. An absolute beauty to Kiewski, who had so much time to pick out the cross. And Eze just seems as if he didn't want to take too many risks. Used the inside of his right foot to redirect the ball on target, but didn't pick a post. That is a massive chance, one of the better chances of this first half. Kiewski. Of course, Joshua Eze is still on 0 goals this season, has contributed with 3 assists nonetheless. A new signing who joined in the summertime. What a shot from Taz. He was swerving, he was swirling. But Braune, you already know he's going to have a couple more saves to make in this match at the very least. Taz demands for the ball. So much activity from Verl, it's dizzying at this point. Besio going right back at Bita. Bita on ice skates yet again, struggling to deal with the creative dribbling. Gairet. Timur Gairet gets onto his left foot. Braune, again, what he's done so well, Maximilian Braune, is when he makes a save, he doesn't spill anything. Captures it, gobbles the ball. Besio, absolutely having a field day on that left wing. So hard to contain. You just feel for Joshua Beta, who constantly having to defend while running towards his own goal. Very difficult to do so, almost impossible to do properly. Much easier to defend while running forward. Duisburg unable to get their foot on the ball. They're having to react to what Verl are concocting. Oh, this time they finally do act first, and it's Simala, the freshness of Jan-Simon Simala. Play carries on. Beautiful pass! The finish! They didn't need much! Dennis Borkowski makes Verl pay for all their missed chances, all their possessions. And he gets his first goal for the club, thanks to Jan-Simon Simala, who set the table and then served the dish on a plate. A silver one, that is. And Dennis Borkowski finishes in the same bottom corner that was found by Lex Tiger Lobinga for the opener. Oh, they took a little bounce on it as well. The surface didn't help, but Borkowski gets the goal to go ahead and punish Verl for getting perhaps even a little bit too comfortable although it did seem as if they were firmly in control of the match, you can never sleep on MSV Duisburg at any point of a football match, whether it's stoppage time in the second half where they become so known for scoring, or during periods where they're seemingly rolling with punches. Jan Simon Simala, what an impact. He gets his 6th assist. Borkowski gets his first goal of the term. Well, what a match we have. Match day 23 is an absolute cracker. And SC Verl are now looking at a deficit once again. As we've seen, they are experts in coming back from behind. They've done so 8 times this season. Well, they have actually been in a deficit 8 times this season, and they've won 3 and drawn 2. Only Cottbus are a side that have earned more points coming back from behind than SC Verl. Beta's header on the second ball. It's Berkantaz who's dancing on his feet. Besio, he's pickpocketed. Pressure still on. This very compact Duisburg who are putting a lot of density in front of their goal. Berkantaz tested his luck. See the resolute defending. Everybody so involved. The selfless play of Duisburg. Every player commits to the system. It's amazing how Dietmar Hirsch has installed so much belief in every player in his side to work so hard to attain so many good results as a promoted club in the Dritte Liga. Not many would have tipped them to be at this stage of the season vying for the top spots. And they've done some brilliant work in the winter transfer window, bringing in Alias Kaza and Lex Tiger Lobinga. Here's Eze. Hamdi. Hamdi's tripped, and it's a free kick. In a very wide position. Jano Wienefeld. Yet again, staying very calm in his decision making. The young referee doesn't pull out the yellow card, even though Kaza was clearly late. So SC Verl offered an opportunity to deliver a good ball into the box. And the way the players are setting themselves up, there's not much space between the goalkeeper and the defensive line. Difficult to see where the ball can come in. Doesn't result in anything. Successful defending from MSV Duisburg, who are defending with so much tenacity. Patrick Susek having a word with Lex Tiger Lobinga. We haven't seen a lot of Susek. The ball at his feet. Lobinga challenging. Such a tall frame. Oh, it doesn't matter, it ends. The through ball. And Otto, he's dispossessed. Great work from Susek, this time getting on his wheels. Borkowski had a very small window of opportunity, and he took it. That's a sign of a player in confidence. Susek as well, firmly in belief that he could always recover the ball, even though he had ground to make up. But belief in his pace, belief in his speed. And Finn Otto would have looked very silly had that ball gone in at the end of that play. Here he is now, Otto. Otto, who didn't start the first 3 matches of the Dritte Liga this campaign. Only made his first start on that match day 4 showdown between the two sides, which ended in a spectacular comeback. Verl were ahead with less than 10 minutes to go in regulation time. In the end, it was Duisburg who overturned a 2-0 deficit into a 3-2 victory. Those memories are still fresh in the minds of both sides, that's for certain. Joshua Beta heading out of bounds. He's had a challenging first half, but in the end, his side have only conceded 1 and didn't come from his side. Hamdi, or excuse me, it was Otto, but finally, excuse me, it was Hamdi, believing that he had won a corner kick, but Choskun celebrating with the supporters as well as his teammates, and just another instance, more evidence that this MSV Duisburg side are full of synergies. The result is greater than the sum of the parts. And the supporters here at the MSV Arena are a lot more at ease with their side leading 2-1 than they were when it was 1-1. Verl, since conceding that second goal, haven't had the same toothful bites as they go forward. Not seeing the same amount of surges or penetrating football that allowed for them to threaten so much and cause so much unease. On that far side, Hamdi seemed to be calling for a run, but it's completely isolated. Lots of SC Verl as well as Duisburg players here on this near side. Not sure where the solution could come from if they keep playing short. Maybe the moment to change. Oh, they do find the way. Besio on a foot race, but he was in an offside position. Still committed fully. And Alessio Besio hasn't been rewarded for all his efforts in this opening half. Braune uttering some choice words for perhaps his team captain Rasim Bulic. Bukovski yet again. Struggling to get back up to his feet. It's never a very good sign when a player is clutching his eyes. Seems to be as if he's in quite a lot of pain. He tracked back to make sure he could defend it. Something gave in. May have been the hamstring. Especially when it's not a contact injury. It can be very serious, and oh, what an unfortunate moment this is for Denis Borkowski. The medical side signal that he needs to be substituted off. And he was playing such an important role in this match, especially even in this season. Came back from an injury and he won't be able to persevere. It's Niklas Jessen takes his place. By trade, a fullback. We'll see if Niklas Jessen is able to deal with the pressures of this match day 23 encounter. He's only making his 8th appearance this season. He's never played more than a little bit over a half hour. He may have the entirety of the second half. So he'll be tested fully. There he is, Jessen, coming up against Besio on the defensive. Jessen held by Bulic. Just so well positioned. Bita doesn't take any risks. Swipes at the ball so it goes to the defensive line, but Verl knocking on the door. We enter the final moments of the first half. We've crossed regulation time. 5 minutes of stoppage. Been shown by the fourth official, Julius Martenstein. Kaza. Went to the end of his rope there, Kaza. Borkowski receiving the applause of his home supporters. This may be the last time they see him for a little bit of time. It's not the hamstring, it may be the tendon. We'll have to see. Ice around his left ankle. And Bulic goes down, calls for some more noise as the Zebras look to end this first half on the front foot and ahead on the scoreline. They've been dealt a heavy blow, losing Borkowski. Morale needs to be maintained at a high level for Duisburg. Can't let this loss perturb them. However, this isn't the first time they've lost a player to injury in play. Simala went down and out on match day 13. Jan Bukjans, match day 7. Was it earlier than that? It was against Jan Regensberg. It was match day 2, excuse me. Patrick Bukjans. Here's Besio. Alessio Besio gets Jessen falls to ground. Berkantaz gets on his left foot, smashed it, but it was right into the center defenders. Lobinga on the counterattack. Instant reaction for Duisburg. Could you believe that? Lex Tiger Lobinga smashes the ball inside the far post. And the Zebras don't need possession, don't need flashy football. They rely on precision, timing, and efficiency. Look at that, Lobinga in a position that he excels in, driving at the box at full speed, and then has all the coolness to slot home his 13th of the season and offer a 2-goal cushion, surely, as Duisburg will head into the halftime break. And what a punch in the stomach that is to Verl, who had already seemed to be losing steam. And just once they had committed numbers going forward, Berkantaz was found inside the box. It only took 2 passes, or even 1, to pick out Lobinga. Amazing how Duisburg transition from looking as if they're on their true back heels to then sending in a blow which results in a goal. Incredible efficiency, so clinical. And this has been absolute perfection. A masterclass from Dietmar Hirsch. Despite conceding the equalizer at 1-1, they played exactly the way they should against SC Verl in this first half. Of course, football is a game of 2 halves, and we'll see how both these sides shape up following the team talks and the breaks. Free kick now where Eze was stomped on. Bulic and Eze coming into contact. Joshua Bita was involved as well. Can SC Verl snatch a late goal to get one back? Come closer MSV Duisburg. The delivery isn't too bad, but Braune was on it. Got 2 fists to it. Look at the watch for Jano Wienefeld. Braune came off his line, but in the end, the delivery was much wider than expected. Oh, uncontrolled tackle straight into Finn Otto. Rasim Bulic, almost looking like a rugby player more than a football player. And that surely will be the first yellow card of the match. He had patience, Jano Wienefeld. And it was tested here. He counts the number of fouls. And Bulic goes into the book. No real contesting that one. Oh, absolutely lost control. And this extends the amount of time in this first half because now Verl have another set piece. This surely will be the final kick of the game. So they really have to make the most of this chance. They want to go into the half, the 1-goal deficit, because if not, certainly be facing a 2-goal deficit. Taz, the cross isn't good enough. Lobinga heads it out. And that's the end of the first half. Jano Wienefeld calls an end to a very eventful opening 45 minutes. The first goal came at the first minute of play through Lex Tiger Lobinga, an equalizer just seconds later through Walid Hamdi. And then Verl, as they were growing into the match, were stunned by a 2-player goal scored between Jan-Siamen Samala and Denis Borkovsky, who had to exit the pitch through injury. Just as he was making his way to the tunnel, Lex Tiger Lobinga scored the third, and it's 3-1 at the half. We'll see how the sides shape up in the second. We'll be back after the break. Well, we're back at the MSV Arena, and we can already see Jonas Arveiler gracing the pitch. The number 9, surely to come on and cause some difficulties for MSV Duisburg's defense. The opening half marked by a brace. Lex Tiger Lobinga, the winter signing from Victoria Cologne, did a lot of damage, scoring at the first minute and then virtually the final minutes of the half. In between, there were goals scored by Denis Borkowski, who had to leave injured. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back to action soon enough. As well as Walid Hamdi grabbed an early equalizer for the visitors. But if anything, MSV Duisburg didn't have most of possession, didn't have most of chances created, but they have 3 goals and are in the driver's seat as the second half commences. SC Verl attacking from left to right, all in red, and a big challenge on their hands. So as the stadium announcer confirms, it's Jari Otto who leaves the pitch. And it's Jonas Arveiler, another left-footed player, but a completely different profile, who enters the fray. See what the team talks do for the next 45 minutes or so. Tobias Traubel, did he have the right words for his side to either continue on the same path that they were on or to make some adjustments? They did look vulnerable on a few occasions, and when they did, MSV Duisburg made them pay in cash. Bit of a miscontrol, and Lobinga was on a hat-trick. Ready to pounce, chasing on it like a cat, ready to eat its prey. Oh, that's a messy clearance, back of the net. And that may just be it. Patrick Susek grabs the 4th goal at the opening minute of the second half. It's a carbon copy of the first. Mistake at the back, punishment immediate. And the MSV Arena erupts. They didn't have to wait long to see another goal. They've been treated to an absolute clinic on finishing. Susek, crossbody shot, weighs it perfectly, keeps it low, so it's very difficult for Schultz to get to it. Lots of pace behind the shot as well, and it just comes to caress that back post. He disguised it well as Patrick Susek too. His body language never clearly indicated where he was going to aim for. And he gets his 7th of the season. For Tobias Traubel, not sure the halftime team talk worked out there. If anything, more of the same mistakes that we saw in the opening half, which split them open. And if anything, this is starting to look a little bit like a blueprint as to how to undo SC Verl's style of play. For context, coming into 2026, the side were on a 12-match win streak, entering matchday 21. It all came crashing down against Wien Wiesbaden, but not win streak, excuse me. They were 12 games unbeaten going into matchday 21. They've now won a free kick in a wide area once again. MSV Duisburg have been very clever in the areas in which they've conceded these free kicks. Never have they allowed for Verl to have a central look. It's always got to be a wide-looking delivery. It's going to be an out-swinging cross from Taz, certainly. It's Taz. Curls it. Oh, it was really well delivered. Enns should have made contact there. That's also a little bit of the story of the match. SC Verl had the chances, but they've lacked the efficiency. And Energie Cottbus remain in first place. MSV Duisburg nestle into second. Osnabrück are now in the playoff promotion spot, and SC Verl on the outside in fourth. Rot-Weiß Essen and Hansa Rostock complete the top six. But just 5 points between the first and sixth place side. It's very tight at the top of the table after match day 23. It wouldn't be very risky statement to say that Duisburg have comforted the 3 points, but we've seen crazy things in football. If SC Verl can reverse a 4-1 deficit into any points, it would be an absolute feat, especially given how things have been going. It seems as if once they commit numbers forward and leave gaps at the back, that's when Duisburg punish. Low cross, dealt with well. I believe it was Tobias Fleckstein, making his 23rd consecutive start and his 170th appearance for the Zebras. One of the longest serving players in the Dritte Liga for their club. He's already been at the MSV Duisburg player for 5 years and 5 months. Zgairet picks out Taz. Frustrating day at the office for Taz so far. You can see he's willing to go forward, willing to contribute to his side offensively, but he's been muzzled quite well. Kiewski, he was just half a step slower. May have been caught up by Lex Tiger Lobinga, the insatiably hungry striker, voraciously hungry striker. There he is now, keen to make a difference, keen to be part of a side playing for promotion. What a level up he's had since signing in the wintertime from Victoria Cologne. Throw in on the far side, taken by Niklas Jessen, who was brought on for Borkowski. There's Patrick Susek, who seemed as if he hardly even touched the ball in the first half, but in the second, showcased to the 22,000 plus supporters here at the MSV Arena that he doesn't need anything at all to still be as sharp as a samurai knife, samurai sword, may I add. Oh, Asim Bulic just knows when to stick his foot out. It only delays SC Verl, however, who continue pressing. Two fullbacks linking up now. Taz, tricky feet from Berkan Taz. Geiret. Oh, the deflection, it was tricky. Dennis Weidner almost getting an important goal, which could inject more hope into Verl. Finally, a little bit of tempo from the visitors. It's Dennis Weidner on his 25th birthday. Came within inches of scoring the second for his team. Taz with the in-swinger. It's at the far post. Simala read the trajectory very well and simply clears. Eze at the center circle. Almost spoiled for choice, but takes many touches on the ball, which slows down the play. Duisburg's two lines and two curtains of defense, waiting for Verl to expose themselves offensively. You could see they were ready to attack. There was Kazar and Simala, who concerted themselves to attack at the same time the ball carrier. And it works out well, but Eze followed through brilliantly, the young midfielder. His efforts aren't for nothing. Tricky feet, Kievski. Does not meet Jonas Availa. He's trying to get on the end of that cross. Made a late run, but there was chance. Verl settling into their opponent's final third. Hovering around. Hamdi kept it low, and Çoskun gets in the way of things. Verl working well on that right side. Another low cross from Hamdi. Skips through everyone. Kievski! How does he miss the target? He arrived in an awkward position. You could tell the cross wasn't meant for him, but given that it missed everyone, he took it with the inside of his left foot. At that point, maybe should have considered getting his laces to make contact with the ball. You can understand why he'd opt for the safer choice, but got it all wrong. And that's a lifeline for Duisburg. It's a bit of another story of the match. It's Verl just not taking their chances. They've had an incredible volume. And it's either timid shots, which don't force big saves, or aim for the sides of the goal from Maximilian Braune. And if not, they just missed the target altogether. Here's Taz. Of course, Verl have other options on their bench that they can look to who have goals in them. Marco Werner, on loan from Paderborn, who scored against Stuttgart last week, could be brought on. Hamdi. Weidner's cross is kept low once again. They have been insisting on the low crosses at Verl, with not much success. Weidner. He's caught up well by Simala, making sure he fulfills his defensive responsibilities as well. The right winger. Taz. A little bit of a combination play on the left side for Verl. Taz gets it from a clever back heel from Besio. Availa. The shot lacks a lot of venom. He really made sure that he was able to get some lift to the ball. Availa caught it at the bottom of with his left boot, but didn't have much of the power. It's a bit of a snapshot of how the match has been going for Verl so far. Very promising play, exploiting some holes in the midfield as well as the defense of Duisburg, but when it comes to the final product, they just have come up empty-handed for most of it. They still have scored a goal. The problem is that their opponents have put 4 past them. Without especially looking dominant. As you can see, Duisburg, much of what we saw in the first half, content with conserving their energy, not needing to overcommit offensively either, and just focus on their outlets such as Lobinga. This time, the searching through ball doesn't meet the run. Lobinga, well, you can see Looking as if he's got a little bit of a limp. That may be the end of his afternoon, his evening, excuse me. It's the number 45. Max van Braune rolls it to his captain of the night, Bulic, who's in for the absent Alexander Hahn. Fondly called Ali Hahn by the supporters. Gairet. Intelligent pass into the space for Besio, who's going to challenge Jessen. Has him slipping. Besio, for all his swirling dribbling, hasn't been able to send in a final ball that has resulted in an assist. Joshua Bitta clutching his shoulder. And Jarno Wienefeld calls for the medical team to come on to the pitch. He received an elbow from Dennis Weidner. This was a challenge. It resulted in that attempted counterattack. It looks to be in a fair amount of pain. Rasim Bulic receiving some instructions from Dietmar Hirsch to share with his teammates shortly. Making the most of this stoppage in play as Bitta receives some attention. Simala getting the message. Seems as if it was understood. See, Dietmar Hirsch is getting ready for a double substitution. It's going to be Leon Muller to come on, as well as perhaps Dominic Kotha. Wonder who will be coming off. You wouldn't imagine Rasim Bulic to exit the pitch, although he has picked up a yellow card. It would be risky to keep him on, especially with this result almost secure. And you never know with SC Verl. They are such an offensive armada. They have put 5 goals against sides before in this season. They need to up their sharpness, because MSV Duisburg are defending resolutely and are a very tough nut to crack. It will be Rasim Bulic to come off. Eze is exiting the pitch for Marco Werner, last week's goal scorer and new signing. So fresh legs up front for Verl. And then 2 changes for Duisburg. It's Lobinger who's come off, 2-time goal scorer, and Rasim Bulic, 2 very influential figures who left their mark on this match. North Rhine-Westphalian derby. So Leon Muller and Dominic Kotha, defensive midfielder and a winger. Kotha making his first appearance this season. Joined just last week from Dynamo Dresden. Played 12 times in the Zweite Bundesliga this season. Oh, the ball is going to hit the post. So unlucky for Verl. They can't buy a goal, it looks like. At least a second one. It's been evading them Cross comes in, dealt with by the Zebras. SC Verl, they've had a bundle of opportunities to at least draw blood a second time. Sometimes the football gods just have other plans. Still plenty of time, however, for SC Verl to force MSV Duisburg to doubt, who are now without some of their most influential figures in this match. Oh, Verl! Oh! It goes wide. Jonas Verl controlled it brilliantly. Set up the ball onto his left foot, but it's going to be a difficult angle, aiming for that second post. Here there's a fortunate bounce. Besio, left-footed volley. Brauner was nowhere to be found. He was at the mercy of the goal frame. And fortunately for the Zebras, it bounced out. Ends winning his duel with Kotha. Otto a little bit less convincing with his header. Schultz has hardly had to make any saves, but has had to pick the ball out from the back of his net 4 times. Geiret. Strutting forward, Geiret. Hamdi, way too predictable, which allows for the substitute, Leon Muller. To recover the ball. Verl, all 10 of their outfield players firmly in the 40 meters of their opponent's half, but they're just unable to break down. And now on the counter-attack, here's Dominic Kotha. Doesn't have too many teammates to assist him, so what can he concoct? The young Loney. Oh, it's magnificent from Kotha! The shot, he gets it all wrong, however. Devastating dribbling from Dominic Kotha to escape not 1, not 2, but 3 SC Verl players. And then just took a real swing at the ball. Fleckstein, not interested in passing to his center back, Schlick. Instead, plays it forward, and Beta is on there with such intensity. And it's a corner kick, one, or throw in, deep area. Corner kick now. Kaza intelligently let the ball go out of bounds. And it's a dead ball situation as the MSV Arena supporters sensing that victory is within touching distance, and it's not just any victory, it's against a side that were ahead of them in the table going into this match, a side that have been feared by many for their offensive prowess. Cross from Choskun. Oh, full enthusiasm on the volley from Patrick Susek. Put his whole body behind it. Sent it flying into Rosie. They'll play out quickly, and they're already at the halfway line. Duisburg's defensive block much lower this half, not interested in pressing high. Why should they? They are leading by 3-goal margin. Arveiler's in the box. Can Alessio Besio get involved? Kievski losing out on his duel. Susek defending properly, within the rules of the game. Very little for referee Jarno Wienefeld to do for the last 10 minutes. It's been very free-flowing football, but Verl coming up against a wall of white and blue stripes. Very tough to break through. The best defense of the Dritte Liga, especially when they've already punished you 4 times. Kazar collects. Mola. Simala was very hard to find, too difficult to find. 20 minutes left in regulation time. There's only been 1 goal in the second half. Came through Patrick Susek in the 48th minute. If not, it's been all SC Verl in possession, but nothing to show for it. Berkantaz, his cross. Curls out of bounds. Not looking completely dejected yet, but hope starting to fade away. Berkantaz, weapon number 1 for Verl this season, has played his last ball. He comes off for Julian Stark. Center forward who recently crossed a milestone of 100 Dritte Liga apps. Dritte Liga apps this year he did so, but really more of an impact substitute. Can he make an impact this evening? Well done by Finn Otto to switch up to put the play onto the right. Beautiful back heel from Vorne. The play ends, fortunately, without any impact. Marco Werner, his faint touch helped it continue on, and these will be the final pair of substitutions to be made. It's Jan Simon Simala, who exits his first start since match day 13. He gave it his all. Instrumental on the second goal, which was very important. Arrived at a key moment of the match. He comes off for Connor Nosh. Six goal contributions off the bench this season, Connor Nosh. So you know he's coming for business. And Alias Kaza, who arrived in the winter time from Dynamo Dresden, but is already establishing himself as a firm starting midfielder, comes off for Jesse Tugbenyo. So no more substitutions available for Dietmar Hirsch. He's made all 5. So the side on the pitch will be the side ending the match. He offered a first start to centre-back Ben Schleek, who you can see at the bottom right of your screen, wearing the number 40 for MSV Duisburg. Had only played 24 minutes Dritte Liga football for this match. There he is. Oh, he's beaten Schleek, and there's a chance. SC Verl grabbed the second. And taking advantage of a moment of inattention, Julian Stark pummels the ball into the back of the net. Jonas Arweiler, the 2 substitutes combining brilliantly. And the efficiency that was lacking is found outside of the right foot into the bottom corner. It's a beautiful finish, and Julian Stark, his reputation as an impact sub, confirmed. And the deficit is now just 2. Tobias Strobel, believing his side can pull off this comeback. You can see it on his face. You can see it in his body language. He firmly believes in his side's weapons as well. So that goal only changes the goal differential. If the result were to stay the same, but can SC Verl mount a comeback with a third goal? That would already do enough to send a shiver down the spines of the MSV Arena supporters who have come out in numbers. And Duisburg, who are going to have to remain focused for these final 15 minutes with the men they have. Oh, it's helped on by Verl. The throw in. As mentioned, they've already made all 5 of their substitutions. So the 11 men on the pitch who have conceded the second goal need to remain resolute, and psychologically they can't let that second goal ruin all the hard work that was put in place for 70 minutes. Otto. Here's the goal scorer of the second, Julian Stark, dropping into the center circle, but he'll then drift into the box. It's where he's most at ease. Besio. Haven't seen a lot of him in the second half. In the first, he was a true weapon for SC Verl. Maybe fatigue has gotten the best of him. It's a bit of a wayward pass from Stark, which has consequences, as in the end, Verl's possession is brought all the way back to their own goal, or their own box, excuse me, and goalkeeper Philip Schultz plays the pass forward. Kiewski, he was aiming for Julian Stark. That was his intended target. Play carries on, however. SC Verl continuing on with the intensity, but the tempo is slightly dropped. Not seeing as many quick combinations. Duisburg sealing many passing avenues. Hamdi. He's wide. Good delivery. Verl. Kiewski at the second post is alone. Verl. Second bite at the apple. Off the crossbar. How unlucky for Jonas Verl. And SC Verl, wave after wave of offensive. It's no surprise that they are the best offense in the Dritte Liga. They're absolutely terrifying going forward, and MSV Duisburg have seen their goal frame shaken twice already. It was chaos inside the box. Otto, wayward pass, and now Kota doesn't link up with his new teammate Connor Nosh. And that puts an end to that brief attempt of going forward for the home side. Braune, very far off his line, and calmly dribbles the ball into the byline to pick it up. It's been a mature performance from Maximilian Braune, but he has been fortunate. Oh, Tugbenio, much too predictable. And he's spotted out by Timur Gayret, who's had a very interesting match for 80 minutes. The sporadic captain of SC Verl went into this game as a third best assister in the Dritte Liga this season, with 8 this campaign. Behind Togay CSC. There he is, Gairet. He has so much quality with his feet. Oh, that's beautifully done. Kievski, Besio keeps it alive. MSV Duisburg just can't seem to catch a break or stop the onslaught of offensives. SC Verl looking to draw another punch. Just 152 kilometers between the two stadiums. This really is a North Rhine-Westphalian derby, and it's never been a boring one. We've never seen a 0-0. And as we enter the final 10 minutes, could there be more goals to light up the MSV Arena? We came so close to seeing the 7th of the match. To Benyo putting his body on the line to prevent the initial effort, which was crucial. Arveiler with 7 goal contributions off the bench this season. He is the league leader ahead of Connor Nosh. 6 times he's found the target and 1 assist delivered. Picked up another one this evening. His assist from using his chest for Julian Stark. Hamdi. Gairet now drifting on that right wing. The bottom of your screen. Loves to use his left foot to send in quality passes. He's going to be called upon now. Gairet. There's a simple inside of the left foot pass, but he is the undisputed dictator of the tempo. Oh, Violet. His foot was hanging high. Joshua Bitter contorting in pain. Violet completely aware of his mistake, and Jarno Wienefeld may be forced to pull out a card. From the way he's reacting, it seems as if it's going to be a yellow. Wienefeld always had, Arveiler always had his eye on the ball. And then strikes the chest a bit out, who got there first. An impressive collision between the two. And that'll be a caution for Arveiler, who's on a 2-match goal streak. So I'll have to be careful for the remainder of this match. Final pair of substitutions to be made. We're seeing Antonio Foti, another new signing, ready to come on. Antonio Foti, right from the Regionalliga, where he was playing with VfB Dortmund's reserves. Also, so it's Alessio Besio who makes way for the attacking midfielder. Fabian Wessig. Enters the fray as well. Stark to get things restarted. Gairet taking his responsibilities. He's being called upon quite a bit now by his teammates to provide that key pass, but eager to take on the responsibilities. We see him now again, Gairet. Wessig. Gairet again, he's a magnet to the ball. Hamdi cuts inside. Little slip from Kuta. Kievski keeps it in play to the substitute Foti. Great battle won by Niklas Jessen. The fullback proving he was up to the task when he came on for Wolkowski. It was at a moment when the sides were 2-1. And since then, Duisburg have hung on to their 2-goal cushion. It's been a valiant performance from MSV Verl. Still not over yet. But as the clock keeps ticking, the supporters are starting to raise their volumes. They know that the Zebras are doing enough. It's Ben Schleek who goes into the booking. Late on his challenge there. The difference in size between the two players is impressive, and Marco Werner's no short customer. Goes to show you how impressive Ben Schleek's physique is. A former Unterhaching player whose father, Bjorn, wore the MSV Duisburg jersey for over 100 appearances. He must be proud, making his father proud at least. Already followed in his footsteps in signing for Duisburg, and tonight he's featuring in a performance that may end in a positive result. Gets a top of the table competitor, Nosh. He's going to take it wide and try to draw seconds away from the clock to Benyo. He's going to go for goal. Bounced on its way before reaching the gloves of Philipp Schultz. Geiret cuts inside to Hamdi. The Zebras doing a great job in packing the middle section of the pitch to force MSV Verl to play on the outside. Once they do, they don't have too many options, given that there's so much density at the center of the central areas. Joshua Bitta has been converted into a center back, seems, with Jessen almost taking that wing position. And he's been brilliant, Joshua Bitta. Had some difficulty containing Alessio Besio in the first half, but despite all that, his contributions have been top-notch. Geiret, even a pass that goes a little bit wayward, still functions. No-nonsense clearance. But Verl recover and are back to where they started just a few seconds ago. As we get closer to the 90th minute, it just seems as if the next goal just may be for consolation. MSV Duisburg seems as if they have bolted the door shut, but they've weathered storms. MSV Verl had the arguments to at least draw level, had several looks on goal. They really can blame themselves, missed the target, or at least didn't find the right angles when shooting. In contrast, MSV Duisburg, whenever they were given a glimpse of scoring, they took their chances. A true masterclass in finishing, spearheaded by the oh-so-dangerous, oh-so-classy Lex Tiger Lobinga, who is being a little bit labeled as a penalty specialist, but all his goals for Duisburg have been in open play. since signing. Schultz taking risks. SC Verl staying true to their brand of football. This is what cost them 2 goals, might I add. They were caught out in their own 18-yard box. Across the 90th minute of regulation time. Julius Marnstein signal the amount of stoppage. Hamdi, Gairet, touch a little bit heavy. And Çoskun winning his duel. He too has been nearly impenetrable. An all-around complete performance from the MSV Duisburg defense, who at times were looking to be shaken, but they never faltered, they never broke. The expression goes, bend until breaking. Well, they did bend, but they never broke. Showing unbelievable flexibility. And they finish this match with a lot of fresh faces. Niklas Jessen coming on has contributed so much. Julian Stark goes into the book. Niklas Jessen, Ben Schleek, Dominik Koda, players that the MSV Arena supporters haven't seen. Jessen will receive some medical treatment. That challenge was quite a rough one from Stark. Seeing a center forward slide tackle goes to show how the defensive move is truly an art form. But the result seems beyond doubt. MSV Duisburg will not only seal the victory, but hop over their opponent of the night in the table. They'll be on 43 points, just 1 behind league leader Energie Cottbus, and 2 in front of SC Verl, who will be stuck on 41. Tugbenyo, Koda, Tugbenyo's gonna get it again. Connor Nosh with his left foot. Calls for handball. Patrick Susek for protesting. He does not escape the booking. He knew exactly what was happening, tried to run away, but the damage had already been done. Jarno Wienefeld. Putting Patrick Susek in the booking. He's the only player wearing the blue and white stripes who is on a yellow card currently on the pitch. So MSV Duisburg will play their next match away against Wien Wiesbaden, the side that had undone the 12-game unbeaten streak of SC Verl last month. Verl will return home to play against Hoffenheim 2. Both matches to be played at the same time on Saturday, February 14th. So in just 6 days' time, both these outfits will be back on the Dritte Liga pitch. Arweiler! Oh! He'll be regretting some missed chances tonight, that is for certain. That was an absolute peach of a cross. And he'll be bemoaning what could have been a much more prolific night. If not 2 goals, he should have at least have had 1 to his name this evening. And that's much to the delight of the Duisburg supporters, because Arweiler if he had sharper finishing this evening, would have made for a much tighter affair. Score exactly not a true reflection of how the game went by. SC Verl really could have had at least 3 goals in this match. Oh, seems as if Beta's arms were not in the most natural position, but did strike his hand. One look at the replay. No penalty given. Corner kick taken. Hooked into the 6-yard box by Kiewski, but Braune smothers the ball. Yeah, the replay shows it very clearly. He does move his arm. Perhaps could have been a penalty. But luck hasn't gone SC Verl's way this evening, and that's the final whistle. Duisburg had all the fortune and all the efficiency in the world to undo this very offensively strong SC Verl side going into this match, but they've done it. They've won the North Rhine-Westphalia derby, both home and away fixtures, and they remain unbeaten at home this season. They are a very difficult side to undo, and Dietmar Hirsch completely came in with a game plan to be as efficient as possible, utilizing the lethal striking of Lex Tiger Lobinga. Patrick Susek got on the scoring in the second half, and then Julian Stark, another impact substitute for SC Verl, made the deficit just to 2 goals. Striking the woodwork twice, SC Verl were unable to make this a tighter affair, but the scoreline isn't a true reflection. It was a close match, both sides showcasing their strength, but in the end, it's Duisburg who win and climb up to second place and eject SC Verl from the promotion spots. What a match under the floodlights at the MSV Arena. A memorable one, that's for certain. And closing match day 23. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week.